High atop the Swiss Alps, where air is thin and the cold bites with -7 degrees Celsius intensity, lies one of the most astonishing feats of modern engineering, the Sphinx Observatory. Nestled into a craggy peak at an altitude of around 3,600 meters, this marvel stands as Europe's highest research station. But this isn't just a remote scientific outpost, it's a monument to human ambition, engineering prowess, and the relentless pursuit of knowledge. From a distance, the Sphinx Observatory looks like something from a sci-fi film, clinging to the edge of a cliff surrounded by endless expanses of snow and ice. But behind its glassy facade and icy silhouette is a story of grit, genius, and groundbreaking construction. Reaching for the sky, why build so high? It may sound counterintuitive to build a high-tech laboratory in a location this remote and inhospitable. The observatory is surrounded by steep alpine slopes and sits at an elevation where oxygen is scarce, and every breath feels like a workout. But for scientists chasing the mysteries of the universe, this high vantage point offers something invaluable: clarity. At lower elevations, much of the infrared radiation from celestial bodies is absorbed by Earth's atmosphere, making it difficult to observe faint or distant objects in space. The thinner air at the Sphinx Observatory allows researchers to detect signals that would otherwise be lost. Some of the measurements conducted here are part of the Global Atmosphere Watch, a prestigious global program with only about 30 locations worldwide offering similarly unique data. Inside, you'll find everything from experimental tech and scientific instruments to microchips being tested for space missions, all put through their paces under extreme environmental conditions. Built into the mountain, positioned on a rock formation aptly named the Sphinx, the observatory looks like it's been carved from the mountain itself. But constructing such a structure in such a perilous location wasn't easy, especially back in 1937 when the facility was first built. Defying sheer cliff faces, extreme cold, and altitude challenges, engineers used steel and reinforced concrete to erect the facility, and their work has endured the test of time. Today, more than 8 decades later, the observatory still stands firm against the alpine elements. Train to the top. To access the Sphinx Observatory, you must first travel to 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐿, home to Europe's highest train station. This station sits at over 3,400 meters above sea level, a staggering feat of infrastructure. Construction of the railway began in the late 1800s, long before anyone had even conceived of the Sphinx Observatory. Without tunnel boring machines, workers used traditional methods: pickaxes, dynamite, and sheer willpower. They tunneled through the 𝐼𝐵, and Jungfrau mountains over 16 grueling years, chipping away at nearly 7 kilometers of alpine rock. Conditions were harsh, accidents frequent, and sadly, 30 workers lost their lives during construction. Labor strikes were common, and management changed hands 8 times before completion in 1912. To raise spirits, workers were reportedly given a bottle of wine each day, a peculiar but perhaps effective morale booster under such intense conditions. The scenic journey. Today's journey to 𝐬𝐵 is far more comfortable and safer than in the past. You can begin your ascent from Grindelwald, boarding the 𝐼𝐵 Express, a futuristic gondola system using a 3S design, 2-track ropes, and 1-haul rope. The engineering behind this gondola allows it to span vast distances with minimal support towers, reducing its environmental footprint and increasing stability in high winds. From there, you'll transfer to a train at 𝐼𝐵 Glacier Station, located more than 2,300 meters above sea level. This marks the start of the Jungfrau Railway's underground segment, which snakes upward through rock tunnels toward the top of Europe. This journey sees you ascend about 1,400 meters in just 30 minutes, made possible by a clever cogwheel rail system. Unlike regular trains, cog trains use gear-like wheels that grip the track, allowing them to climb extreme gradients safely. A railway powered by water, not coal. Given that this railway was conceived in an age when steam and coal were the norm, it's fascinating that the engineers opted for a more innovative approach. Hydroelectric power. Steam engines would have posed serious safety hazards in long tunnels, so engineers built hydroelectric plants in nearby Lauterbrunnen and 𝐬𝐿 to power the railway. These plants still provide electricity for the Jungfrau Railway today, more than a century later, an early and impressive nod to renewable energy solutions. The Sphinx Elevator. Arriving at 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐸 Station is a triumph in itself, but you're not quite at the top yet. To reach the Sphinx Observatory, you must ride an ultra-fast lift designed by Schindler, one of Europe's most renowned elevator manufacturers. The current lift was installed in the 1990s to replace the original one from 1936, which, while remarkable for its time, took about a minute and a half to reach the summit. The new lift, by contrast, travels 108 meters in just 25 seconds, one of the fastest in all of Europe. However, constructing this elevator posed serious risks. The shaft had to be bored into permafrost, a permanently frozen layer of rock and soil. When disturbed, permafrost can thaw, destabilize, and collapse surrounding structures. To mitigate this, engineers developed a cooling system to keep the shaft at -1°C during construction, ensuring the ice remained stable as they poured the concrete lining. The finished lift shaft stands 119 meters high and 6.5 meters wide, with robust engines weighing over 2 tons controlling it from the top floor machine room. The old lift lives on. Remarkably, the original lift shaft and car haven't been scrapped. Instead, they've been preserved as historical artifacts. This nod to the past reminds visitors of the site's long heritage and the incredible lengths people once went to in order to reach the top. Back then, travelers would queue for hours in cold mountain tunnels, waiting their turn to ride the small lift to the peak. Today, the new twin lift system can handle thousands of passengers daily, making the journey not just faster, but far more efficient. A view worth the climb. When you finally reach the viewing platform at the summit, all the effort melts away in the face of what might be some of the most breathtaking views on Earth. Surrounded by the icy peaks of the Bernese Alps, with clouds floating beneath you and glaciers stretching out in every direction, you feel truly on top of the world. Inside the observatory, scientists continue to make discoveries, analyze atmospheric data, and simulate conditions for space missions. And you're reminded of one powerful truth: this entire facility, perched on a cliff in the middle of nowhere, only exists because of human ingenuity and determination, a culture of commitment. The legacy of the Sphinx Observatory isn't just technical, it's also human. The relationship between Schindler engineers and the Jungfrau Railways team reflects a deep mutual respect. In one memorable anecdote, a Schindler technician helped solve a technical issue over the phone while on vacation in Egypt. That level of dedication speaks volumes. It highlights how such projects succeed not only through cutting-edge technology, but also because of the passion and pride of the people behind them, the ultimate testament to human innovation. From its initial conception in the 1800s to today's ultra-modern infrastructure, the story of the Sphinx Observatory is one of vision, sacrifice, and extraordinary engineering. What began as a dream to conquer the Alps with a train has evolved into an intricate network of railways, gondolas, tunnels, lifts, and labs, supporting cutting-edge science and welcoming over 1 million visitors annually. More than just a research station, the Sphinx Observatory represents the heights, both literal and metaphorical, that human construction can reach. It's a symbol of our drive to understand the world and universe around us, no matter how remote or challenging the path may be. So the next time you look up at a mountain and wonder what's up there, remember, it might just be a lab studying the stars built by people who refuse to believe in impossible. And that brings us to the top, quite literally, of one of the most incredible engineering stories on the planet. If you found this journey to the Sphinx Observatory as mind-blowing as I did, don't forget to hit that like and make sure you're subscribed to the channel.